My job as a director is I get to dream for a living. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Transformers: The Last Knight is the 5th entry into what we can call a film series. It stars Mark Demas Mark, Hannibal Lectron, English Megan Fox, Little Feminist Statement, BB Not So Great, a bunch of shit, a bunch of other shit, John Turturro on a phone, and Let's Laugh at French People robot, and whatever Michael Bay wants to shove into our mouths and eyes. The so-called plot is about Cybertron is on its way to Earth to eat the planet or something. Mark Wahlberg is on the run from the government because Transformers are aliens and they are illegal aliens. And now we got to build that wall in space to keep them out. This girl fights Ed 209 robots and her friends are dying Autobots. Not Megan Fox is a professor at Oxford University or Harvard or something, but doesn't believe in King Arthur and Lancelot and dragons. My brain hurts. Anthony Hopkins knows exactly why Transformers have to come to Earth, except for this one detail that he has to argue with John Turturro over the phone for just to find out. Optimus Prime gets turned bad and isn't in the film that much, but all these posters say otherwise. And Megatron hires the Suicide Squad to make a cool street gang. This movie is the most convoluted thing I have ever seen. This is like 50,000 plot lines shoved into this movie, with the most obscure jokes in between. Michael Bay has officially outdone himself in the lack of understanding of tone, structure, setup and payoff, characterization, pace, and feminism. This whole franchise was built on all the male archetypes of fast action, flash cars, giant robots, hot women, and the American military. All the boxes tick to guarantee asses in seats. This is the same template that's kept the Fast and the Furious franchise going. These movies have never progressed outside of this template, and it's like the same shit every single time. Now, the main demographic for these movies, for the most part, are children and idiots. The type of people that have the defense of, hey man, I just want to see some action and some hot chicks. I don't care if the movies aren't like Spielberg quality, which is fine. We all have those guilty pleasure movies which we can just switch our brains off and enjoy. And if people just want to see dumb action, then why not just make an hour-and-a-half movie of just that? Just robots fighting, just action. Who the fuck cares about ancient Transformer relics on Earth and that ties to the pyramids or the moon or fucking King Arthur? I don't understand why Bay feels the need to make a 3.5-hour long movie with 50 side plots that ultimately lead to nothing. It's like he wants to be thought of as this intelligent director that puts a lot of effort into his scripts, but then he shoves in dumb stuff because like he got bored of talking about serious things. And when he talks about himself as a director, it's like he has no idea what to say.
And what I try to do is, as a director, I try to...
And the worst part is each movie has a complicated story, but then forgets what happens in the previous movie. So we got Transformers 1. The Allspark lands on Earth. Megatron, who is chasing the Allspark, crashes on Earth as well and he gets frozen. And the twist? All technology on Earth was learnt from frozen Megatron. Transformers 2. This guy called the Fallen needs to go to Earth to find this thing called the Sun Harvester to suck power out of our sun for some reason. The Allspark now means nothing. And the twist? This thing was in the pyramids and you need a matrix of leadership to turn the machine on. Transformers 3. Nah, it turns out Megatron came to Earth to meet up with this guy called Sentinel Prime because he had pillars to make a space bridge that would teleport all of Cybertron to Earth. In the twist, the Matrix of Leadership now does nothing but to activate Sentinel Prime because he's dead. Oh, the twist is he's a bad guy. Like that means anything. Transformers 4. These things called seeds were used to turn dinosaurs into something to do with Transformers. And the twist, you make a lot of money if you set your movie in China. Now Transformers 5, forget all of that. And it turns out, spoilers, if you give a shit, the quintessential reason why Transformers keep coming here, as Anthony Hopkins says in the trailers, are you ready? The entire planet is this cunt. Yep, it's not even Earth. Planet Earth is a big Transformer. And Cybertron has now floated to Earth to like kill him or something to merge with Earth, and that's the reason. Nothing to do with the Allspark, nothing to do with the Sun Harvester, nothing to do with the space bridge, nothing to do with the seed that makes metal. And every single movie just makes up a different reason to come to Earth. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Unicron. This movie set up that it was going to reveal all, but all this franchise does is make this shit up as it goes along. Why does it need to be about this shit? Robots fight, just make that whole movie. He's not a director, he's a manufacturer. Pumps out products that look exactly like the same as the last one. This whole video of him panicking on stage represents him as a person and a filmmaker. Just panics when he has to talk about what he does.
The type is all off, sorry, but I'll just wing this.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, we'll wing it right now. I try to take people on an emotional ride, and excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So they hire you or they have you go up on stage, but you're talking about stuff ultimately that you're unfamiliar with.
Well, let me tell you, I rarely ever talk about a product or even represent a product.
Never represents a product. He actually had to go there. To sum up how great he is as a director, I now present to you Michael Bay, the man who rarely represents a product.
As a director, is I get to dream for a living. I create visual worlds that are so beyond everyone's normal life experiences. And Hollywood is a place that creates a viewer escape. And what I try to do is, as a director, I try to the type is all off, sorry, but I'll just wing this. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now that was Hypocrite Strike 1. Another strike is, remember how I kept mentioning feminist? Now before this movie was released, they posted this stupid trailer with the girl talking directly to camera.
Fight like a girl? Yeah, I fight like a girl. Don't you?
Now I have a theory about this. For the most part, women in these Transformers movies have been hot and dumb.
What?
Megan Fox was good for bending over things and delivering lines like there wasn't a brain in a skull. Like this Oscar-winning delivery.
What are you, like an alien or something?
She has some random business of knowing how cars work, so she knows to find a saw to kill this thing. There was this character who was smart, but not smart enough to be in the second film, who would have worked really well in the whole Nest organization as like a computer analyst helping track Decepticons. But fuck developing characters. Speaking of that, Fox didn't return for Transformers 3, and Sam has a new girlfriend. How do they introduce her? There's a camera through her legs. And this time it's not even an actress, it's a model. And she's useless, she has to be saved all the time. Transformers 4 gave us Mark Wahlberg's daughter, another dummy who has to be saved all the time. And for some reason she's in high school, but her boyfriend can't be in high school. And he has this pedophile get out of jail free card.
Protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws, statute 2705-3.
Like, what is this? Why can't he just be in high school too? It's like young love. What is this card? Is it real? That's fucking gross. Now back to this weird trailer. The girl has an interview saying that Bay wanted to make this trailer personally.
And the movie's not like that, by the way. We don't break the fourth wall, but in that trailer, I was just initially someone else was supposed to direct it, and Michael was gonna just oversee it. But Michael loved it so much, and he loved the message that it sent. He was like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be the director."
Now my theory is, while they were shooting the film or editing it, the whole Donald Trump sexist fiasco was going on, and feminists around the world were in a frenzy. Michael Bay's portrayal of women could easily be lumped into that swarm. So they quickly shot this trailer to throw the "fight like a girl means empowered" message. Well, no, that doesn't work here. You've portrayed women as retards before. This can't hide that. And after seeing this film, she's like in the first act and then fucks off for the rest of the film, and then shows up at the end to look confused about everything. And for a majority of this film, it's all about British Megan Fox, who is a professor at Oxford University, and she talks like she's from the streets and refers to medieval history as bullshit to her students, and then looks at Mark Wahlberg's abs and starts drooling. She wears tight dresses. I mean, it would have been weird for Bay to try to sexualize this 14-year-old girl. That might be pushing it a bit.
Statute 2705-3.
Ah, get that out of here. So yeah, you can't pass for empowering women. You don't just murder someone and then say how much everyone has the right to live. Now, one of the worst things is this gets further and further away from Transformers every film. I can acknowledge that Transformers was purely made for selling toys, but there's still like good stuff in there that you can just put in these films. Like the Transformers themselves are like least priority, Like, he uses so many characters from previous films and just recycles that 3D model into the next film. Like, Bone Crusher dies, is back in Transformers 2. Long Haul dies, is back in Transformers 3. Shockwave dies, is back in Transformers 4 with 2 heads. And now he's back in The Last Knight as a jet. And Barricade, the cop car from the first movie. He just rocks up in Transformers 3 randomly. But now he's back in this new movie with this whole revamped look. And I don't even know if it's the same character. Like, there's no look from Bumblebee going like, oh, it's you again. Also, Bumblebee fought in World War II, 70 years ago. Still is the young Autobot, though. Like, how does that work? How do these things age? Also, they say that Transformers have been here since the medieval era, and even back then they speak English. But then there's a scene in the first movie.
We've learned Earth's languages through the World Wide Web.
Like, there was no fucking internet in night times. Fuck this movie. Fuck this franchise. Like, halfway through this movie, I actually felt sick at the amount of exposition that was getting shoved down my throat. I actually wanted to go out of the cinema just to take a breather. Mark Wahlberg is the Last Knight. The title is about him. Just so in one scene, this sword can magically form in his hand so he can block the sword of a bigger robot. And UK Fox is like the descendant of Merlin the Magician. Oh, who fucking cares? Also, Bumblebee's goddamn voice. I'm so sick of the radio talking bullshit. He talks at the end of the first movie.
Permission to speak, sir. I wish to stay with the boy.
That's you 2705 choice.
Doesn't talk in 2, doesn't talk in 3, doesn't talk in 4. In this movie, after his pointless battle with Optimus Prime, he's like, "It's me, Bumblebee!" And that makes Optimus not bad anymore. And it's like, he can talk now. Again. But then in the very next scene, he's talking through the radio again. And then in the scene after that one, he then talks again. And it's like, what? Can he fucking talk or not? Also, halfway through the fight, Prime is like, "I am Nemesis Prime." And it's like, fuck off. Nemesis Prime is a different character. Like, he can say he's Nemesis Prime while he's evil, but at least can he look different? Like, can he look evil? Don't just say it and then 2 minutes later you're like, "Nah, I'm good again." Also, Megatron is nothing now. He was the big villain in the first movie. In the second movie, he's the bitch boy. In the third movie, he's the bitch boy. Then in the fourth movie, he's a different character with like the most amazing transforming feature, making him pretty much indestructible. Now he's back to being Megatron, and he just transforms normally and does nothing. And then he dies at the end. Again, I can't wait to see him come back to life.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I can't talk about this movie anymore. There's still plenty more wrong with this movie. Like, don't even get me started about this fucking character. But I highly recommend that you not see it. Don't let this film make a shit zillion dollars like the last one. These need to stop. I don't care if there's 14 more films to go. They got nowhere to go. The next film, the planet Earth will transform into Unicron. There will be no Earth anymore. So do you want to know why they keep coming to Earth? Because Earth is a robot. What the hell are the next 14 films then? Once the Earth transforms, there's no Earth. That's where they're going to end it? Because it's so goddamn bad. Out of 10, I give this movie a score of fuck off. You get nothing out of this movie. Actually, I recommend you all go watch Beast Wars, because Beast Wars is fucking sick.